So they are basically creating the
Hmm.
first dedicated solution designed to aggregate all the marketing channels in just one place. Hello, welcome to another episode of HubHype, the first one in 2025. How are you today?
I'm good, a little bit tired because this week was just a little bit exhausting, but I really say hello to everyone to the new year. So it's already 1 month away since we moved into the new year, but a lot of stuff happening, so all good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm also tired today, but we need to keep the show going, so that's what we're gonna
True.
do. Yeah, I mean, the new year came with a lot of new stuff for HubSpot, so this is not surprising because HubSpot is constantly bringing new things. But I feel like this is a very good year for everyone using HubSpot. There's tons of cool things coming, really, and that we should look forward to. And maybe I would like to start off with a recommendation from my side. It's like a tip and trick if you want.
Hmm.
Because we are doing tons of campaigns, as you know, and by default in HubSpot, you have standard properties that are populating automatically the lead source, right? You have original lead source, and then you have drill downs that kind of detail that a little bit more. But we always recommend our customers to create a custom property for lead source. Why? Because there are some lead source that can be specific, because of course the ones which are automatically done with HubSpot are like paid media, organic search, those kind of things. So maybe you want something more specifically based on your business. And also, it enables you to have kind of a set of predefined values to make sure that you don't have tons of different values in the lead source that you can then it makes like difficult to filter if you want to
Mm.
filter in a list or something. Um, but what we recognize sometimes is that when you're doing ads, sometimes it's difficult to have that lead source incorporated in a lead ad form. And also sometimes it can happen that for some reason you're getting a lead in, and if like sometimes that isn't written in the property. That's what I mean. So something happens that it comes out that the lead source is empty, right? And when the lead source is empty, because you cannot pre-fill it through a form because of somehow the interface is not working, and that really happens a lot with ad campaigns when you're
Hmm.
LinkedIn lead gen form. Um, I kind of managed to do a workaround here, which is very simple. So basically, you use a trigger of lead source is unknown. And then it's a very important thing is to also add an action for delay for 2 minutes, because sometimes the lead is created and then you have the original source being populated in the next minute. So it's important that you have this delay, and after the delay, your action would be to copy the original source into the lead source that you have,
Hmm.
because at least you have something, and that's in case you're using custom lead source, which is not the ones which are standard for.
Yeah, so that's one thing. The other thing is always about reporting. So which channel is working good or which lead source is working quite well. I also recommend as well to think about with the whole team, because that's part of the alignment process, to think about the different lead sources. And in addition to that, what we are doing is also we are breaking it down and saying lead source details. So lead source is more or less the channel if you want. The other thing is really to break it down to be very specific and maybe run specific campaigns on that. So, for instance, a download, that would be the main area, but then you can say download type or content type to break this down. What I see really often at our customers is they are not using the lead source; they are just using the generic one, what you just mentioned in what you're just mentioning. But really, I would encourage everyone to do that because you are really specific then
Absolutely.
afterwards. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you don't have anything, it's good to have something like this. At least you're making sure you're having something and using the original source. But yes, I mean, another example is when you're doing an event, right? You're going to an event, and then the detail would be the name of that event.
Mhm.
And then you can use that to filter as well to score your leads based on where they originally came from, because it might be that a specific event or specific source is more important for you to qualify your leads than others. So that's absolutely important. And yes, you're right, not a lot of people are leveraging that nowadays.
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah, the other new thing which was coming out, so think every customer is now informed that HubSpot Insights is going away. So first, a lot of people complained. Yeah, we are sad as well, but a lot of people complained that the data is not accurate, etc., etc. So we were building for our customers a lot of programs filling the number of employees or industry, and the filling was quite okay. So it was around 60%, which was good. But this is now going away for sure because HubSpot acquired not ClickBank, sorry, ClickBit some while ago, and for sure they have to monetize this investment. So one solution you can do is for sure test out a little bit Breeze, how this is working for you. It's based on credits. We are doing some tests at the moment to see how the European data is working because ClickBit was in the US, and also there are always complaints, right? But you have to take it because this will not go away. And I think it's a good solution. So you also see always which data is available in the contact. There is a Breeze tab, Breeze Intelligence tab on the right hand side of the contact. So that's good. What I saw is a recommendation from a user. So what he did, and maybe we can put it in the show notes, is you can take a combination of make and company enrich, so two tools, which are for sure not for free, but there is a free version. And with this combination of the free version, you can enrich up to 200 contacts or companies. And for sure, you have to set it up. Again, we will put it in the show notes. We are testing this as well, if this is valuable or not. So two choices: either you're using Breeze or doing a little bit of a pilot, because I think you as a marketer have to do that, or you test it out. So that's quite nice. So again, the community is complaining. I understand why, because it was for free the whole time now, but now you have to pay for data. But I would say if you have to pay for data, that's good, because first of all, you are getting this lead, and when you want to enrich them in a good way, that's good to just pilot Breeze a little bit.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, the promise is that the data coming from Breeze is better than the
Mhm.
one that we used to have in HubSpot Insights. And for everyone using HubSpot Insights, I mean, the data is not going anywhere. If you have enriched it before, it will just not, it's discontinued, right? So it will not be updated anymore. And you can definitely see it when you're creating a company record that you don't get those insights.
Yeah.
So that's a hard punch, but that's the reality. And Breeze AI is bringing as well a lot of other things, like intent data, and that's awesome. So we just really have to look into it and try to understand, especially for marketers, because without data you can not really do anything. And that's a point taken, but you have to understand how you, because that's a paid thing, and you have to understand first how you can use that to enrich your data and how important that is. Again, I mean, the AI thing, there's tons of things out there. HubSpot is delivering more and more and more on that side. And we need to understand what are our business goals and how they are directly
Yeah.
incorporating into this AI thing. So don't go crazy. You can kind of test it a little bit, I think, but just make sure that what you're doing. So you can as well reach out to us for sure to understand how this Breeze AI and enrichment data can benefit the best for you, and how you can take the best out of that, really.
True.
Yeah. All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention, so there's two cool product updates from HubSpot. The first one, I think I have it open here even, is that you can now create workflows centered around calls. I honestly think, to be honest, that this was already available out there, but it seems that this is a brand new update from the beginning of the year. I mean, for sure, there were already actions and things that you could do based on calls, but now you can actually trigger based on calls that have been logged within the content record. And this is cool because basically you can trigger an automation based on call outcomes, and as well based on that you can send internal notifications via Slack, for instance, or email to a specific person. So like this person had this call with this outcome, this was what they discussed, and triggered this notification to do some kind of follow-up or manage the contact. So it got me surprised because I thought this was already possible, but it seems that this is a recent update. So for everyone
Yep,
doing
it is.
calls, that's a good thing. The other one is also, so this is not available yet. So this is scheduled for release, and this is something that it's super cool. I mean, I always get excited about marketing things because I'm in marketing. So this
Sniffing
one,
around a little bit all the time, huh? What's
yeah,
available?
exactly. So this one is about Marketing Analytics Suite. So they are basically creating the
Mhm.
first dedicated solution designed to aggregate all the marketing channels in just one place, right? So for sure you can ARIA, but there are dashboards. Yeah, but you have to build those dashboards, and there's different channels that you have to kind of manage and decide where to put what. And this is basically a curated space that you have to aggregate all the channels like web traffic, channel performance, advancing reporting if you
Mhm.
have price, and contact insights. So that's pretty cool. I cannot wait until this is available. I think it will be in public beta on the 23rd, which is actually today as we are recording this, so that's good. And this will be available for Marketing Pro and Enterprise.
Yeah.
So this is cool as well to have a place that you can see everything. And people need to be looking more into data because I feel like sometimes they are not looking.
That's true. So I love it too. So I saw that as well. The other thing, what I always recommend is think about your KPIs. So I think you have to build a framework on the numbers you really want to look at, because in some companies like that, so every time you're looking at data, you're looking from a different angle. So there are no KPIs defined. So, and my recommendation would be to really start simple. Just do some KPIs. As an example, how many new leads did we generate this month or this quarter, so that you can compare if you're doing a good job or a bad job. Because reporting is everything really. Because then you can derive there some new campaigns. Again, the recommendation is to think about the KPIs. We are doing that at the very beginning when we are working with a customer, because I want to understand what is the most important thing they are focusing on in a quarter, in a half year, whatever, so that they can really see what's in there. The other thing about data, it's also about KPIs and a little bit of an advertisement block. So look at our new feature, Tarlox Profiler. You can also see there how the data quality is evolving, and how you're enriching with this one. Clean up the whole database and then define KPIs, which is working for you. Because then you can speak also with the sales team what you did, how good an event was, as an example, how many leads you have created, how many MQLs, SQLs you generated, and so forth. And look at the funnel, because there's a lot of standard stuff already available in HubSpot. And this is what I encourage everyone to do. So keep the standard, because that is one of my mantras. For sure, you can do a lot of stuff in HubSpot, but when they created HubSpot and implemented those processes, they thought about the best practices which are already in the market. So stay to the standards.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You can always customize, as you said,
yeah,
but look first at what is existing, and if that delivers what you need. I feel like people sometimes look at KPIs as the last thing, so they do a campaign and then they see, of course, that you have to see that and kind of report on that, but try to start looking first into the data in order to create what's coming next. And when you mentioned the
yeah,
profiler, that it gives you tons of insights about how your property data is looking like and what you need to focus on. And the same goes for the dashboards, for this marketing insights thing, for everything. Look at your data and see what's working. If it's working good, can be always optimized. If it's not working, just stop doing it and try something else. In marketing is always a question of trying something new. So look first into the data and then decide what's your priority instead of trying to find out that on your own, because sometimes it's just a matter of keeping your eyes open to see what's working or not, really.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So those are actually my main updates, to be
Really,
honest.
I have one point, because since we are working a lot with customers, I came across a not a funny thing, but a thing everyone should consider about a little bit more is pipelines. So pipelines in deals. I think everyone in listening to this podcast is knowing what I'm talking about. So to visualize your deals in the stages where the deals are. So please don't use pipelines as your project management tool. So I would keep it very simple. So if you have a sales team, let's say about 3 or 4 people, it's from my perspective, it's not good if you have more than 3 or 4 pipelines. So I have one customers, they have 15 pipelines and just 5 salespeople. And then the salespeople are overwhelmed where to put the deal, which stages you have. So there are reasons for that, for sure, but really think about consolidating that stuff, because we just have a pipeline as an example for new business and existing business, because I think that's enough. But please don't use it as a project management tool, the pipelines, because you can get a lot of valuable insights in those pipelines. And also don't forget, you can automate those pipelines, which means you can send sequences, because that's included if you are using a HubSpot for sales, and then you can always send automatic emails based on the requests. So
Mm-hmm.
that's maybe one hint, best practice tip from my side. Go through the pipelines.
And for instance, if you have, so what is usually for you the right train of thought when creating pipelines? Is it based on, as you said, new businesses or existing businesses, or do we have to consider as well how many sales processes do we have or products do we have in the
Yeah,
business?
exactly. So for me, it's really product based. So when you have several products, so in our case, we have services and we have a product, but then we also have new business and existing business. So in our case, new business and existing business is just a type in the deal, which is a standard property. And then we have a pipeline for services, because we are not breaking this down by different services, like lead scoring or lead management could be our own pipeline. But I think we are a small team in the salespeople, so I just want to have one pipeline for all the services we are providing, and one pipeline for the product we are having. But if you are a company I cannot say a name, but if you are a company where you have different products, so for instance, you have a marketplace as an example, then you have memberships you can sell, then you have maybe products you are selling. For sure, it makes sense to have more than one pipeline, but really think about what's valuable. What do you want to get out of that? Because otherwise, you are in a sales call, you have to go through 10 pipelines then. And if you have one deal per pipeline and you have to talk about 5 minutes about every deal, you are done already. So you focus on the pipeline and the pipeline stages.
Absolutely. And also for maintaining those
Yeah.
pipelines, because think about your CRM adoption. That's already sometimes a struggle to get people to adopt the CRM and to keep it clean and maintainable. So think about it. If your sales reps have tons of different pipelines to maintain, that will be a nightmare. So try to really keep it or to the
Simple
necessary.
and small. Yes. I
Exactly.
agree.
Exactly. All right. So so I do have some cultural recommendations, but something else about HubSpot or about business that you wanted to
No,
point
not
out?
HubSpot, but business. So a friend of mine approached me the other day and said, Erwin, I created a calling bot. And I said, oh, this is not working. I'm not sure if this is really good because you will recognize that that's a bot or something, but it was really a cool experience. So the bot was talking in dialect, which really makes the sound
That is
like
crazy.
it's really crazy. And the answering times were really I ask a question and I got a response in a normal flow. It was not like saying something that a lot of
Robot, right?
exactly. So it was really cool. So I want to try that out for us as well. For sure, there are some legal requirements we have to fulfill to calling people, but this was really cool.
And I remember you mentioned it's really human like. So it does
Yes.
pauses, it does like
Hmm.
thinking, those kind of things.
Crazy. It's really
And
crazy.
it's crazy how far those things are already.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that when you have to do a bunch of calls, and it's cool that it's not robot because honestly, you could see from afar that's something
Sure, sure. And it's not like, hello, my name is Erwin. It's
yeah,
really, it's
you
human
say something.
language. It's super
Yeah,
cool.
exactly, and it's kind of because usually you're saying something and then you get like a already predefined response, which
Yeah,
sometimes has to do with what you just
pretty
said. So
cool.
so I love seeing those things really. I mean, at the same time, it's cool, but then it's also crazy how far I mean, you can really sometimes, and as I said, I think it was in the first episode that, there's this thing, was in beta, but it's actually now available, that, you can kind of make yourself saying something that you didn't record before, and it really does
Ah,
look like.
yeah, the thing you saw on the web summit, I think, right?
Yeah, it
That
was
was
adorable.
cool, yeah, as well.
It was so. I mean, I mean, I think that those things, if they are caught in the wrong hands, it can go wrong.
I
But
agree.
as always, we always having this problem since the beginning of the internet. So it's it will always
That's
be this.
true.
All right, so to kind of wrap up today's episode, I'm bringing two recommendations, like cultural, like one is not so cultural, but anyway. So the first one is a book that I've read a while ago, and I feel like I have to read it again. Honestly, it's called Contagious by Jonah Berger, and he's talking about how to build word of mouth in the digital age. And it's
Hmm.
interesting that throughout the book that he's taking you into a journey of real life cases, like companies who built products before the digital age and made it somehow viral.
Hmm.
And he's always thinking around what makes things get popular? What makes some products or some ideas or some content get more popular than others, and being kind of more spread and infectious than others? And there's definitely some patterns, that you can recognize that makes things go viral. Sometimes there isn't, right? Sometimes it just happens. But that's a cool thing that you should definitely read, especially if you're working in marketing. The other thing, this is a cool stuff. So this is a card game. You know how I love card games and board games? And this is called Shit Happens, right? It's super cool. I mean, I really recommend you to get this. I got this like shortly before Christmas. And this is like 200 cards with different scenarios of shitty things happening, right? And you have tons of stuff, right? You have like a guy run over by a car, getting a flat
All
tire,
right.
like stuff like that. And then for each card, you have a misery index, right? That goes from 0 to 100. And then, each player has 4 cards on the table, and then one takes one out of the pile, read it out loud, and then you have to decide which misery index that is. And then if you get 10 cards at the end, you're winning. If you're not getting it, it goes back to the pile. Um, so, for instance, this one is your best friend. You get your best friend with your ex girlfriend or something. The other one is you're losing your thumb. So stuff
That
like that. They're like crazy.
it's funny.
Yeah, so that's really fun, and I love to be, playing these games with friends and stuff because it's also keeping your eyes out of the screens, which is something that
Which is good.
we're always doing every day, right? So something like that, it keeps your mind fresh, in your brain, and also keeps your eyes out of the screens, which is it's a good exercise.
That's cool. Brilliant. But it's you have to be 18 to play it, huh? What I saw.
This is 18 plus,
Good.
right? Because there are some very,
Sure.
basic things here.
Should be things which could happen, right? So
Shitty things that could happen to adults mostly, right? So yeah, but that's a cool one.
nice. Perfect.
Cool. All right. So I think this is it for today. I think this was a good one. A lot of cool things in HubSpot. I can't wait as well. By the way, I'm on the run currently to get certified as a certified trainer. So it's in progress. Usually, I don't like to talk about things that are currently in progress, but I mean, honestly, it's really like for every certified trainer out there, this is a little bit of work to get certified, but it has been fun to go through that process. And I can't wait. Maybe we have some good news the next time we are recording a new
Oh, we
episode.
have one good news, Lisa.
What?
To be part of that game, you have to be gold partner. So we are gold partners now, which is
Yeah.
nice,
Oh,
huh?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, we were waiting to be gold partners,
That's true.
able to get those certification for the certified trainer. So we are super happy that we get gold partner in such a very short time, honestly. So I think that's,
Only
praise.
9 months, thanks to the
Only
team.
9 months to gold, and we are already with our eyes on the next tiering. So that's super cool. And yes, that's what we do. Always improving, always helping, and success. That's what we want for 2025 for
Perfect.
everyone. All right, good guys. Thank you so much for listening in, and yeah, see you next time.
Hear you next time. Bye bye.
Next time. Bye bye.